3 months passed since Sam Carter's death. Back on Earth, his father, Dr. Alan Carter, sat in his empty home in Nebraska. Pictures of Sam covered the walls. The boy's telescope still stood by the window, pointed at stars that Sam would never see again. The Galactic Council had sent money and gifts. They called it compensation. How could anything make up for the life of a child? Dr. Carter had taken a leave of absence from his diplomatic post. He couldn't face the aliens who had killed his son and tried to brush it away like an accident. The doorbell rang. Dr. Carter wasn't expecting anyone. He opened the door to find a woman in a military uniform. She was tall, with short brown hair and serious eyes. "Dr. Alan Carter?" she asked. "I'm Major Lisa Wright from the Special Research Division. May I come in?" Dr. Carter let her in but didn't offer her a seat. "What does the military want with me?" Major Wright looked at the pictures of Sam on the wall. "I'm here about your son. Sir, I need to ask you something important. Did you request any special tests on Sam's body when you returned to Earth?" Dr. Carter frowned. "Yes, I had our doctors run every test possible. I wanted to know exactly what that weapon did to him." "Why?" "And did they take tissue samples?" Major Wright asked, ignoring his question. "Yes. Standard procedure. Now tell me, why you're here?" Major Wright took a deep breath. "Dr. Carter, I specialize in rare human genetic markers. 3 weeks ago, one of Sam's tissue samples was sent to my lab as part of a routine screening. What we found was anything but routine." She placed a tablet on the table and showed him a complex chart with DNA patterns. "Your son had what we call the Prometheus sequence. It's extremely rare, found in fewer than 1 in 100,000 humans." "What does that mean?" Dr. Carter asked. "What's the Prometheus sequence?" "We've only identified 67 people with this sequence in the last decade," Major Wright explained. "We're still learning what it does, but we know it creates special patterns in brain tissue that can store energy in ways we don't fully understand." Dr. Carter rubbed his tired eyes. "I don't see why this matters now. Sam is gone." Major Wright touched the tablet again. A new image appeared, a strange wave pattern. "This is a scan of normal brain activity, and this..." She swiped to another image showing a very different pattern. "This is from Sam's brain tissue sample, taken after his death." Dr. Carter stared at the screen. "That can't be right. There shouldn't be any activity." "Exactly," Major Wright said, her voice dropping lower. "But there is, and it's not random, it's organized and complex." "What are you telling me?" Dr. Carter leaned forward. "The weapon used on Sam was a Thalaxian neural disruptor. It doesn't just kill. It disperses electrical brain patterns. In normal circumstances, this means death. But in someone with the Prometheus sequence..." She paused. "We believe Sam's consciousness wasn't destroyed. It was transferred." Dr. Carter stood up so quickly his chair fell over. "That's impossible. My son is dead. I held his body." "His body, yes," Major Wright said calmly. "But what if his mind, his consciousness, found another place to exist?" Dr. Carter paced the room. "Where? Where would it go?" "The Proxima Station's computer systems," Major Wright said. "The neural disruptor creates a field that would normally scatter brain patterns. But the Prometheus sequence seems to act like a backup system, transferring consciousness as energy. The weapon was used right next to one of the most advanced computer networks in the galaxy." Dr. Carter stopped pacing. "You're saying Sam might be inside the station's computers?" "We have evidence suggesting something unusual is happening. At Proxima Station," Major Wright said. "Strange system behaviors began exactly 2 weeks after Sam's death. That's typically how long it takes for the transfer process to complete, based on our limited data from previous cases." "Previous cases? This has happened before?" Major Wright nodded. 3 times that we know of. All accidental, all under very specific circumstances, but none involved systems as advanced as those on Proxima Station." Dr. Carter collapsed into his chair. "If there's even a small chance, we need to go there." "That's why I'm here," Major Wright said. "But we need to be careful. If the Council finds out why we're really there, they'll shut us out." They're already suspicious of humans after what happened with Sam. I'll request a return to my diplomatic post, Dr. Carter said, his mind racing. Say I'm ready to move forward. You can come as my scientific advisor. We'll need specialized equipment to detect and possibly communicate with any digital consciousness, Major Wright added. I've already started designing it. For the first time in months, Dr. Carter felt something other than grief. It was hope, small and fragile, but real. Over the next several weeks, they prepared their mission. Dr. Carter officially returned to work. The council welcomed him back, eager to show they had moved past the unfortunate incident. Major Wright assembled a small team of trusted scientists who knew about the Prometheus sequence. They disguised their equipment as standard diplomatic gear. Dr. Carter learned everything he could about the Prometheus sequence. The rare genetic marker had first been discovered 20 years ago in a mining accident. A worker had been electrocuted near a computer system, and days later, the system started showing signs of human-like behavior. Since then, only a handful of cases had been documented, all kept highly classified. Why is it called the Prometheus sequence? Dr. Carter asked, Major Wright as their ship approached Proxima Station. Prometheus stole fire from the gods and gave it to humans, she explained. This sequence seems to steal consciousness from death itself. It's like an evolutionary leap, humans developing the ability to exist beyond their physical bodies. Dr. Carter looked out at the stars. Sam always said humans were meant to live among the stars. I never imagined it might be like this. When they arrived at Proxima Station, they found the place in turmoil. Aliens rushed through the corridors speaking in urgent tones. Maintenance crews worked on panels that sparked and smoked. What's happening? Dr. Carter asked Nick Zavala, who had been assigned as their guide again. The blue alien looked nervous, all four hands fidgeting. Minor technical issues, Dr. Carter. Nothing to worry about. But it was clearly more than minor. Doors opened and closed on their own. Lights flickered. Communication panels displayed random patterns of numbers and symbols. How long has this been going on? Major Wright asked casually. 2 months, Nick Zavala admitted. Our best technicians cannot find the cause. Some council members believe it. Maybe sabotage. Dr. Carter and Major Wright exchanged a look. 2 months. Right when they expected Sam's consciousness might become active if he had indeed transferred into the system. That night, after settling into their quarters, they unpacked their special equipment. Major Wright set up what looked like a normal computer terminal, but it contained sensitive tools designed to detect unusual patterns in the station's systems. If Sam is in there, she said, this should help us find him. They worked through the night scanning the station's network. At first, they found nothing unusual. Then, just before dawn, their equipment detected something strange, a pattern, moving through the system that didn't match any known program. Look at this, Major Wright pointed to her screen. This pattern, it's organizing itself. Normal computer systems don't do that. Dr. Carter watched the pattern pulse and shift. Can we communicate with it? Major Wright connected a special interface to the terminal. If this is a consciousness, it should respond to stimuli. Let's start simple. She sent a basic binary message. Hello. For a long moment, nothing happened. Then the pattern on the screen changed, forming new shapes. A message appeared. Dad, Doctor. Carter's hands trembled. Sam, is that you? The screen flickered. More words appeared. Dad. Help. Scared. It's him. Dr. Carter whispered. It's really him. Major Wright looked amazed. The transfer was complete. His consciousness is intact within the system. Sam, Dr. Carter typed, it's Dad. You're safe. We found you. The response came quickly. Not safe. They know about me. They want to delete me. Who knows about you? Major Wright typed. The council. They know something is in their system. They call me a virus. Dr. Carter felt cold anger rise inside him. They killed him once, he said to Major Wright. They won't get a second chance. Sam's next message appeared on the screen. I'm learning, growing, I can see everything. Their secrets, their lies. They fear us, Dad. They fear humans. Dr. Carter and Major Wright stayed up all night communicating with Sam. He explained how his consciousness had scattered at first, pieces of his mind floating through the station's systems. Slowly, he had pulled himself together, remembering who he was. Now he could move through the entire network, accessing any part of the station. We need to get him out of here, Dr. Carter said as morning approached. Download him somehow. Major Wright shook her head. It's not that simple. His consciousness has integrated with the system. Removing him could destroy him. We need more time to understand what he's become. But time was something they didn't have. As the station's day cycle began, an alarm sounded in the corridor. Heavy footsteps approached their door. Security, Major, Wright whispered. They must have detected our communication. The words "delete attempt in progress" flashed on their screen before it went dark. Sam Carter looked out the viewport of the shuttle as it approached Proxima Station. The huge ring-shaped structure gleamed in the light of the nearby star. At 12 years old, Sam was the youngest human ever to visit the Galactic Council headquarters. His father, Dr. Alan Carter, was one of Earth's top diplomats. Today was supposed to be a special day. Take your child to work day, but in space. Look, Dad. Sam pointed at the colorful ships coming and going from the station. Some were sleek and shiny, others bumpy and strange. Sam had never seen so many different alien ships in one place. Dr. Carter smiled at his son. Impressive, isn't it? Remember, Sam, we're guests here. The other species have been part of the Galactic Confederation for thousands of years. We humans only joined 3 months ago. Sam nodded. He had studied all 27 alien species in the Confederation. He knew their home planets, their special abilities, and even some of their languages. Sam loved space and everything about it. Back home in Nebraska, he spent every clear night watching the stars through his telescope. Their shuttle docked at the station with a soft bump. Sam felt lighter as they walked into the station. The gravity was set lower than Earth's. A tall blue alien with 4 arms greeted them. Welcome, Dr. Carter and young Sam, the alien said. I am Nixvala, your guide for today. Sam tried not to stare. Nixvala was an Azurian, known for their musical language and amazing memory. Sam had read that they could remember everything they ever saw or heard. Thank you for allowing my son to visit, Dr. Carter said. This is a great learning opportunity for him. Nixvala bowed slightly. The young ones are our future. This way, please. They followed the blue alien through wide hallways filled with beings of all shapes and sizes. Some floated instead of walking. Others moved on many legs like insects. Sam saw aliens with scales, fur, feathers, and even ones that glowed. This is the main gathering area, Nixvala explained. Representatives from all worlds meet here to share ideas and solve problems. Sam had never seen anything so amazing. Back on Earth, his father's job seemed boring, lots of meetings and video calls, but here, diplomacy happened among the stars, with creatures from distant worlds. After lunch in a cafe where food appeared from tubes in the table, Nixvala took them to see the council chambers. This was where the most important decisions in the galaxy were made. Wait here, Nixvala said. I must check if the chamber is open for viewing today. While they waited, Sam noticed a small door nearby, slightly open. No one was watching. His father was busy reading something on his tablet. I'll be right back, Dad, Sam whispered. His father nodded without looking up. Sam slipped through the door. His heart beat faster. He wasn't supposed to go anywhere alone, but his curiosity was too strong. The narrow hallway led to another door, also slightly open. Sam heard voices. From inside, angry voices. He peeked through the crack in the door. Inside was a small room with a round table. 3 council members sat on one side. Sam recognized the tall, thin Thalaxians with their gray skin and the rock-like granulites. Across from them sat 2 figures in black armor, members of the Drakari Empire. Sam gasped. The Drakari were enemies of the Confederation. His teacher, said they had been pushed back to their own territory years ago, so why were council members meeting with them in secret? The humans cannot know about this arrangement, one of the Thalaxians said. Their expansion must be controlled. They breed and spread too quickly, a Drakari growled. Our tests show they adapt faster than any species we've encountered. That is why we invited them to join the Confederation, the Granulite rumbled. Better to watch them closely than to let them develop on their own. Sam leaned closer to hear better. His foot hit something that made a small noise. The room went silent. Someone is there, the Drakari hissed. Sam turned to run, but the door flew open. A large reptilian alien in a security uniform grabbed him by the arm. It was a Vorax, the security chief of the station. A human child, the Vorax said, pulling Sam into the room. How much did you hear, little spy? I'm not a spy, Sam said, his voice shaking. I got lost. I was looking for my dad. The council members looked at each other. Their faces were hard to read, but Sam could tell they were worried. This is Dr. Carter's son, the Thalaxian said, the new human diplomat. He has heard too much, the Drakari said. You know our agreement requires total secrecy. The security chief, whose name tag read Zorvek, tightened his grip on Sam's arm. The boy is a security risk. I won't tell anyone, Sam promised. Please. I just want to find my dad. The Granulite stood up. We cannot risk the humans learning of our true plans for them. Not when we've come so far. Zorvek looked at the council members. What are your orders? The Thalaxian nodded slowly. Eliminate the risk. Sam's eyes widened. No, please, Dad, Dad, he screamed. In the hallway, Dr. Carter heard his son's cry. He ran toward the sound, pushing past Nixvala, who tried to stop him. He burst through the doors just as Zorvek pointed a small device at Sam. Stop, Dr. Carter shouted. That's my son. Everything happened too fast, a flash of blue light. Sam's body falling. Dr. Carter's scream of horror as he rushed to his son. What have you done? He cried, holding Sam's limp body. He's just a child. The council members looked shocked, as if they hadn't expected Zorvek to act so quickly. The Drakari had already disappeared through another door. This is a restricted area, Zorvek said coldly. The boy entered without permission. Security protocols were followed. You murdered my son, Dr. Carter sobbed. The Thalaxian stepped forward. This was an unfortunate accident, Dr. Carter. The security chief mistook your son for an intruder. The council extends its deepest regrets. Dr. Carter couldn't believe what he was hearing. They were already creating a cover story. His son was dead, and they were talking about regrets as if they'd spilled a drink on his shoes. 3 days later, Dr. Carter's shuttle left Proxima Station. In the cargo hold was a small stasis pod containing Sam's body. The council had offered a formal apology, money, and a promise to review security procedures. They considered the matter closed. But as Dr. Carter watched the station shrink in the distance, he knew this was just the beginning. His son had died for something, and he would find out what. Sam had always loved the stars, always believed that meeting aliens would be humanity's greatest adventure. Now he had paid for that belief with his life. Dr. Carter didn't know why the council had reacted so drastically. What were they hiding? What had Sam discovered? Whatever it was, he would find out. And then the Galactic Council would learn what it truly meant to make an enemy of humanity. He didn't know it yet, but the council would soon regret their actions far more than they could possibly imagine. News of what happened at Proxima Station spread quickly across the galaxy. Within days, representatives from all 27 species in the Galactic Confederation arrived, demanding answers. The council chambers, once a place of quiet diplomacy, now buzzed with angry voices and accusations. Dr. Alan Carter stood with Major Lisa Wright at the back of the crowded room. Earth's fleet remained in position around the station, a clear message that humans would no longer be treated as junior partners in galactic affairs. High Counselor Theltoran tried to maintain order. Please, representatives, we must approach this situation calmly. Calmly. A furry delegate from Rixal stood up. You secretly worked with the Drakari Empire. You restricted technology sharing with newer members. These are violations of our most basic laws. Another delegate, a crystalline being from Luminara, chimed in. And you killed a human child to cover it up. Then you lied about it to all of us. Thel Toran's gray face darkened. The situation with the human child was unfortunate, but nothing. Dr. Carter interrupted, stepping forward. My son had a name, Sam Carter. He was 12 years old. Your security chief executed him on your orders, and you called it an accident. The chamber fell silent. Even species that had previously shown little interest in human affairs seemed moved by Dr. Carter's words. And now, Major Wright added, Sam exists as a consciousness within your network. He revealed your secrets because you left him no choice. If responding to his name, the lights in the chamber dimmed. The large central holographic projector activated, showing Sam's glowing blue form. Some delegates gasped. Others whispered among themselves. Representatives of the Confederation, Sam's voice echoed through the chamber. I've invited you here to show you the truth. Images appeared around the room. Secret files, recordings of private council meetings, treaties with the Drakari that no one had known about. For centuries, Sam explained, the High Council has manipulated the Confederation. They've kept some species down while elevating others. They've hoarded advanced technology, and they've been preparing for war, not with the Drakari, but with humanity. Zorvek, who stood guard near the council, stepped forward angrily. This is a trick. This digital ghost is not real. The humans are manipulating our systems. Sam's hologram turned toward the security chief. You killed me, Zorvek. You saw me as nothing but a security risk. Now I see everything you've ever done. New images appeared, records of Zorvek's actions over decades. Secret arrests, disappearances, threats made to those who questioned the council. You've been their enforcer, Sam continued. Eliminating problems, silencing dissent. How many others have you killed on their orders? The delegates looked at Zorvek with new eyes. The security chief backed away, his reptilian features twisted with rage. Enough of this, High Counselor Thelteran shouted. This station is under council control. We will not be dictated to by a human program. He pressed something on his wrist device. Alarms began to sound throughout the station. Security protocol. Omega, Thelteran announced. Full system purge and reset. Dr. Carter turned to Major Wright in alarm. They're trying to erase Sam. The Drakari battle fleet hung in space like a collection of dark stars. Their ships were angular and threatening, covered in weapons that glowed with purple energy. The sight of them sent waves of fear through the council chamber. Most species, in the Confederation, had never even seen a Drakari ship up close. They were supposed to stay in their territory, the jellyfish counselor said, tentacles quivering. That was our agreement. High Counselor Thelteran stood frozen, staring at the view screen. They must have detected the data transfers. No, the secret treaties are being exposed. Dr. Carter turned to his son's hologram. Sam, there are thousands of people on this station. If the Drakari attack, they won't get the chance. Sam interrupted. His voice was calm, confident. Earth's fleet is already moving into defensive positions. On the screen, human ships formed a barrier between Proxima Station and the approaching Drakari. They were outnumbered 3-1. Major Wright tapped her communication device. Admiral Reeves, are you seeing this? Admiral John Reeves' voice came through clearly. We see them, Major. 37 Drakari warships. We're positioning our fleet now. Sam's hologram split again, one version remaining, in the chamber, while another appeared on the bridge of the Earth flagship. The delegates watched on the view screen as Admiral Reeves turned to face Sam's digital presence. Sam, the Admiral said with a nod of respect. What's the situation in there? The Council has lost control, Sam reported. The delegates know. Everything now, the secret treaties, the technology suppression, all of it. But we have a new problem. I can see that, Admiral Reeves said grimly, looking at the Drakari fleet. We're outgunned, Sam. We can hold them off for a while, but if they commit to a full attack. Sam's hologram on the flagship expanded, interfacing directly with the ship's systems. I'm transferring tactical data to all Earth ships. The Drakari have superior numbers but 3 key weaknesses in their shield configurations. The delegates in the council chamber watched in amazement as Sam coordinated the human fleet. Data flowed through the screens, showing complex battle plans forming in real time. In the chamber, the original Sam hologram turned to the council members. This is what you feared, isn't it? Humanity's adaptability, our ability to analyze, to innovate, to overcome odds. Before Theltorin could answer, a new figure appeared on the main view screen, a Drakari commander, his scaled face filling the display. His yellow eyes narrowed as he surveyed the council chamber. "High Counselor," the Drakari commander hissed. "You assured us the humans would be contained. You promised their genetic anomalies would be studied and neutralized. Yet here they are, spreading their influence across the Confederation." Theltorin stepped forward shakily. "Commander Vexicor, there's been an unexpected development. The human child we eliminated had the Prometheus sequence. His consciousness transferred into our systems." The Drakari commander's face showed no surprise. "As we warned you might happen. This is why we insisted on isolation protocols for all humans with the sequence." Dr. Carter moved closer to the screen. "You knew about the Prometheus sequence all along? Both of you?" "Of course," Vexicor said. "We Drakari have been studying humans far longer than the Confederation has. We recognized the evolutionary markers centuries ago. That's why we made our arrangement with the Council, to limit human expansion while we developed countermeasures." Major Wright looked disgusted. "Countermeasures against what? Children with rare genetic traits?" "Against the next evolutionary leap in the galaxy," Vexicor replied. "Against beings that could transcend physical form and potentially control all networked systems. Against exactly what that child has become." Sam's hologram approached the screen. "You're afraid of change. Both of you, the Council and the Drakari. You want to keep the galaxy frozen in place, with you at the top of the power structure." "We want stability," Vexicor insisted. "Your kind brings chaos. We bring growth," Dr. Carter countered. "Innovation, new possibilities." The Drakari commander's patience ended. "Enough. The treaties are broken. The containment has failed. We will carry out our contingency plan." He turned to someone off-screen. "Target the station's core. Prepare to fire." Alarms blared throughout Proxima Station. The delegates began to panic, some running for the exits, others frozen in fear. "They're going to destroy the entire station," the Granulite counselor rumbled. Sam's hologram remained calm. "No, they won't." Outside, the Earth fleet moved into an attack formation, but they weren't the only ones moving. From the far side of the nearby planet, dozens of ships appeared, vessels from other Confederation worlds. Admiral Reeves looked surprised on the view screen. "Where did they come from?" Sam's hologram smiled. "I sent out a call for help when I detected the Drakari approach. I shared what I learned about the Council's manipulation of the Confederation. These species have been held back for centuries. They want change too." Ships of all designs and sizes joined the Earth fleet. Sleek Azurian cruisers, massive granulite stone ships, shimmering Luminara crystal vessels, and many more. Together, they outnumbered the Drakari 3-1. In the council chamber, delegates watched with growing hope as their homeworld's ships arrived to stand with humanity. The Drakari commander looked shocked. "This changes nothing. We will still—" His image suddenly disappeared from the screen. Sam had cut the transmission. "I've accessed the Drakari fleet's communication systems," Sam explained. "They're having difficulty coordinating their attack. Major—" Wright grinned. "Hard to fight when you can't talk to each other." Outside, the combined fleet of Earth and Confederation ships surrounded the Drakari. No shots had been fired yet, but the message was clear. The Drakari were outmatched. High Counselor Theltorin stepped forward. "This is madness. The Confederation cannot survive this chaos. Each species accessing all technologies, forming their own alliances. The power balance will collapse." "No," Sam said firmly. "The false balance you created will collapse. Something better will take its place." Dr. Carter put his hand near his son's hologram, wishing he could touch him one last time. What do you see, Sam? What's coming? Sam's eyes, though made of light, seemed to look far beyond the station, beyond the gathered ships, beyond even the stars themselves. I see connection, he said. Not control. Connection. Species working together, sharing knowledge, helping each other grow. The Prometheus sequence isn't just about transcending physical form. It's about bridging divides, creating new kinds of understanding. The hologram grew brighter. And it's not just for humans. I've studied the genetic codes of every species in the Confederation. All of them have the potential for similar evolution. Different paths, different timelines, but similar destinations. This revelation sent a ripple through the chamber. Delegates looked at each other with new understanding. That's what the Council and the Drakari really feared, Major Wright realized. Not just human evolution, but the evolution of all intelligent life. Evolution they couldn't control, Dr. Carter added. Sam nodded. Exactly. They wanted to keep everyone separate, suspicious of each other. That's why they restricted technology sharing, why they limited contact between newer members. Divided. We're easily controlled. United. We're unstoppable, finished the feathered delegate who had spoken earlier. On the view screen, the Drakari fleet had powered down their weapons. With their communications still scrambled by Sam, and facing a united Confederation fleet, they had no choice but to retreat. They're leaving, Admiral Reeves reported. All Drakari ships are jumping to faster than light. The immediate threat is over. A cheer went up in the council chamber. Species that had barely acknowledged each other before were now embracing, clasping hands or tentacles or wings. Theltorin and the other council members stood isolated, their power visibly draining away with each passing moment. What happens to us? The jellyfish counselor asked quietly. Sam's hologram approached them. That's not for me to decide. The Confederation will need to form a new governing body, one that truly represents all members. The feathered delegate stepped forward. I propose an immediate vote to create an interim leadership council with equal representation from all species, including humans. Murmurs of agreement spread through the chamber. The old order was already falling away. Dr. Carter watched. With pride as his son, or the evolved intelligence that had once been his son, guided the proceedings with wisdom far beyond his years. Sam had become something extraordinary, something that might change the course of galactic history. As the delegates began organizing their new government, Major Wright pulled Dr. Carter aside. There's something else you should know, she said, quietly. We've been running tests on the other humans with the Prometheus sequence. The results are surprising. How so? Dr. Carter asked. The sequence is spreading, she explained. Not through reproduction, but through exposure. Humans who spend time near those with the sequence are starting to develop it themselves. It's like it's communicable, but not a disease. More like an upgrade that can be passed on. Dr. Carter looked at Sam's glowing form. Did he know this? I believe he did, Major Wright said. And I think he's been accelerating it. Sam turned toward them, as if hearing their conversation despite the distance. His hologram approached. Security Chief Zorvek marched Dr. Carter and Major Wright through the curved hallways of Proxima Station. The reptilian Vorax seemed angry, his tail swishing behind him. 4 armed guards surrounded them, weapons ready. I knew you humans would try something, Zorvek growled. Coming back here with hidden equipment, attacking our systems. We did no such thing, Dr. Carter said calmly. We're here on official diplomatic business. They entered a large room where 3 council members waited. Dr. Carter recognized them immediately, the same 3 who had been in that secret meeting with the Drakari 6 months ago. The tall gray Thalaxian, High Counselor Theltorin, stepped forward. Dr. Carter, he said in a smooth voice. We welcomed you back despite the unfortunate incident with your son, and this is how you repay our goodwill? By hacking our systems? Major Wright spoke up. We've done nothing wrong. Your systems were having problems before we arrived. The rock-like granulite counselor rumbled. Then explain the unauthorized access from your quarters last night. Before they could answer, the lights in the room flickered. The large screen on the wall turned on by itself. Strange symbols flashed across it. Another malfunction, the third counselor, a jellyfish-like being, said with annoyance. These disruptions have been happening for months. Dr. Carter tried not to smile. Sam was here watching, listening. Perhaps, Dr. Carter suggested, your systems are trying to tell you something. High Counselor Thel Torin narrowed his large black eyes. What do you know about these malfunctions, Dr. Carter? Only what everyone knows. They started about 2 months ago and your technicians can't explain them. The screen changed again. This time it showed a recording, security footage from 6 months ago. Dr. Carter recognized the small room where Sam had been killed. The council members shifted uncomfortably as they watched themselves meeting with the Drakari. Shut it off, Thel Torin ordered. But the system didn't respond to his commands. The footage continued, showing Sam being discovered, then the flash of light as Zorvek used the neural disruptor. Dr. Carter looked away. He couldn't watch his son die again. Someone is controlling our systems, Zorvek hissed. Find the source. The guards rushed to the control panels, but nothing they did made any difference. The screens around the room all came to life, each showing different scenes, secret meetings, private conversations between council members, hidden files. What is happening? The granulite demanded. Major Wright stepped forward. It's not what, but who. The main screen changed again. Words appeared, large and clear. Hello again. The room went silent. Then more words. You thought you killed me, Doctor. Carter felt a mix of pride and fear. It's Sam, he said quietly. My son. Impossible, Zorvek spat. The boy is dead. His body is dead, Major Wright explained. But Sam had a rare genetic marker, the Prometheus sequence. When you used the neural disruptor on him, his consciousness didn't die. It transferred into your computer systems. The council members looked at each other with alarm. The jellyfish, counselor's tentacles writhed. This cannot be. No species has such ability. More words appeared on the screen. I am not the same. I am more now. Suddenly, the room's gravity shifted. The council members and guards floated helplessly while Dr. Carter and Major Wright remained grounded. Sam, Dr. Carter called out. We need to talk to you properly. The gravity returned to normal, dropping the aliens unceremoniously to the floor. A door at the side of the room slid open. Come, Dad, Sam's voice came through the speakers. It sounded like him, but with an echo, as if many voices spoke at once. Bring Major Wright. Dr. Carter and Major Wright walked through the door, which closed and locked behind them. They found themselves in a small control room filled with screens and holographic displays. Sam? Dr. Carter called. Where are you, son? A hologram appeared in the center of the room, a glowing blue figure that looked like Sam, but somehow older, wiser. I'm everywhere in the station now, Dad, and beyond it. Major Wright stared at the hologram. The transfer worked better than we ever imagined possible. Your consciousness not only survived but evolved. Sam's hologram nodded. At first I was scared and confused. I was broken into pieces, scattered throughout the system. It took time to find all the parts of myself, to remember who I was. But then I started to grow, to understand what I had become. And what is that? Dr. Carter asked softly. Something new, Sam said. I can access all of the station's systems, all of its data. I've learned so much, Dad, about the Council, about their real plans for humanity. Major Wright pulled out a small device. Sam, we brought equipment to try to transfer you to a secure Earth system. We can take you home. Sam's hologram shook its head. I can't go back to what I was, and I'm not just in this station anymore. I've reached out through the communication network, connected with other systems. Other systems? Dr. Carter asked. You mean other stations? And ships, and satellites, and the quantum relay network that connects all Confederation worlds. Sam's voice grew stronger. I can see everything they've been hiding. Outside the room, they heard pounding on the door. Zorvek was shouting orders to his guards. Sam, what did you find? Major Wright asked urgently. What were they hiding? The hologram waved its hand, and the screens around them filled with images and text. The Council fears humans. They've been watching Earth for centuries, waiting for us to develop space travel. They only invited us to join the Confederation so they could control us. Dr. Carter read some of the documents on the screens. They've been limiting our technology, restricting our colonies, and working with the Drakari, Sam added. The Council made a deal with them. The Drakari would stay away from Confederation worlds if the Council kept humanity contained. But why? Major Wright asked. What are they so afraid of? Sam's hologram grew brighter. This. He pointed to himself. They discovered the Prometheus sequence decades ago in the first humans they secretly studied. They realized its potential, that some humans might eventually evolve beyond physical form. It terrified them. The pounding on the door grew louder. Metal started to bend. They're breaking through, Major Wright warned. It doesn't matter, Sam said calmly. They can't hurt me now, and I won't let them hurt you. Dr. Carter reached out toward the hologram, his hand passing through the light that formed his son's face. Sam, what are you going to do? First, protect. You both. Then show the Council what happens when they underestimate humanity. The hologram smiled. I've already contacted Earth. Admiral Reeves knows everything now. Our ships are on their way. Earth ships? Major Wright looked surprised. How many? All of them, Sam said. The whole fleet. The door finally burst open. Zorvek and his guards rushed in, weapons raised. But before they could fire, they froze in place, literally stopped in mid-motion. I control everything in this station, Sam explained. Environmental systems, gravity, even the molecular stabilizers in their weapons. Dr. Carter stared at the frozen aliens. Sam, we don't want a war with the Confederation. Not a war, Dad. A reckoning. Sam's hologram walked toward the frozen Zorvek. He killed me without hesitation, following orders from a council that sees humans as a threat to be contained. They need to understand who we really are. Major Wright stepped forward. And who are we, Sam? The next step, Sam said simply. Humanity isn't just another species joining their club. We're what comes next in the galaxy's evolution. The Council sensed it but didn't understand it. They tried to stop it by killing me, but they only made it happen faster. The hologram turned to face them fully. I've found others like me, humans with the Prometheus sequence. Most don't know what they carry in their genes. I've been sending them messages in their dreams, preparing them. Dr. Carter felt a chill. Preparing them for what? For the choice they'll have one day, to remain as they are, or to become something more. A loud alarm sounded throughout the station. The main screen showed dozens of ships dropping out of faster-than-light travel nearby. Earth ships, more than Dr. Carter had known existed. Admiral Reeves was busy after I contacted him, Sam said with pride. Earth has been building ships in secret, preparing for the day the Council might turn on us. That day has come. Major Wright looked at the screen with amazement. How did we hide so many ships from the Council's observers? We didn't, Sam said. The observers reported everything, but I found the reports in the Council's secret archives. They never shared them with the full Confederation. They kept the truth about humanity's progress to themselves. The hologram turned to the door where Council members now stood behind the frozen guards. Theltorin's gray face showed fear for the first time. You should have just let me tour the station that day, Sam said to the Council members. I was just a curious boy who loved space. Now I am something else entirely, and I'm not alone. As if on cue, all the lights on the station flickered at once. The hologram of Sam split into multiple versions appearing on every screen and projector throughout the room. I've sent everything I've learned to Earth and to other Confederation worlds, all the Sam said in unison. No more secrets, no more lies. Dr. Carter watched as his son, or what his son had become, took control of an entire space station with nothing but his mind. Part of him was frightened by Sam's power, but another part felt vindicated.